Welcome back to Real Shit, where we like to talk real shit all day, every day, all for the love of movies, and sometimes TV, and sometimes video games as well. I am Joe. Before I get into what I'm going to talk about today, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Any little bit of feedback or support would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to get right into it because I took a few days off over the holidays to kind of recharge my batteries, and I had some stuff I had to do around the house. But a few news stories came out, and I wanted to give my proper attention to them. And one of the major ones that came out, and something that excited me probably more than anything that I've heard recently, outside of maybe the Michael Keaton announcement that he might be coming back for Batman, is that they are planning a Fallout TV series that will, I guess, premiere on Amazon Prime. Now, if you don't know what Fallout is, of course, it's a video game series, and it's a post-apocalyptic open world RPG type game. And those that don't know, because I don't talk about video games much on this channel, Fallout is probably my favorite video game franchise. Not probably, it is my favorite video game franchise. And Fallout 3 is probably my favorite game of all time. And that's for a few reasons. I remember the first time that I played it, I was just completely drawn into it from the very jump. Like the whole world, the whole idea of just trying to survive this wasteland, I guess you could call it. There's a post-apocalyptic world with all these creatures and different factions, and just the idea of exploring that world and doing what you want to do and acting how you want to act and getting involved in things that you didn't even necessarily expect to be involved with, these little side missions, and meeting random people or coming across random conflicts between two other people. Just everything about it, just the idea of a simulation of sorts. Like, this is my opportunity to act how I would act in a post-apocalyptic setting with less rules, obviously, less regulations and laws, and just going out and trying to survive. Like, that to me is the biggest beauty of Fallout, and the world, of course, the world that is created around you. But everything about that game just completely drew me in, and it's had me hooked ever since, because every single Fallout game since then, yes, even Fallout 76, I've purchased and I've enjoyed. And I've enjoyed them all to certain extents, not to say that they're all perfect, obviously, but Fallout is just one of those franchises to me that constantly has the ability to keep my attention like other games aren't able to do. So when I heard this news, and I have to be honest, as a player of the game and someone who's played for a very long time now, I've constantly thought myself about what I'd like to see in a Fallout movie or something along those lines. Now, I like this announcement even more because it's actually a TV series, and I've many times thought that this property works better probably as a TV series than it would as a movie, and that's for a few reasons, and I'm going to give those reasons now. Essentially, this is going to be what I want from the Fallout TV series, or what I think is the correct way to handle this property and make sure it doesn't go by the wayside. I do want to point out also that it is being produced by the same people who brought us the Westworld TV show, and if you know anything about this channel, I covered the Westworld TV show pretty thoroughly, and I review every episode, and I thoroughly enjoy that show, so I'm pretty happy that those are the people that are involved with this. I think that'll make for a pretty nice transition going from that world to this world. But moving on from that, what do I want from the Fallout TV series? I want a Game of Thrones level story scale, and what I mean by that is I want a story that encompasses the entire wasteland. I don't want to follow just one character. I want to follow many characters. You can have one main character, of course, one person who is the focal point of the story, or the wanderer, or whatever you want to call them. But I really want to see a lot of the other people in the wasteland, the different factions, from the Raiders to the Brotherhood to the Enclave to the Super Mutants to Slavers, whatever the case may be. You should have episodes even, or at least portions of episodes, all dedicated to explaining these people and explaining these factions and explaining the way that these people operate. And I think it'll help with the world building on the show for people who haven't actually played the game. I think they should place that same emphasis on the other people in the story and give us a Game of Thrones level story where we're constantly jumping around to these different factions and everyone's kind of competing for power to see who's going to essentially run the wasteland or take over the wasteland. And I think that would create a very interesting dynamic, and I think it could be on Game of Thrones level of quality television, at least the first 7 seasons of Game of Thrones. But I think it could be on that level as far as like just having all the twists and turns and having all this wide ranging story that encompasses so many people, and it all affects, everyone is affected by every decision that's made from each character. And I think that is something that they should definitely take from the game and expand upon in the TV show. Won't be easy, obviously. I don't know what kind of budget they're working with either, but I'm assuming because it's Amazon, the budget's going to be pretty good. So I think it's definitely possible. And just to follow multiple characters and just to be able to switch between them every once in a while, or focus on one character for a full episode sometimes, stuff like that. Like, you get what I'm saying. Like, don't make it just about one person. I mean, you can have your main character, but don't have it just be about him or her. I think they should definitely carry over the look and style of the game if possible. All the lore, now that's going to be a lot to try to fit into whatever the episode count is, 8 episodes, whatever the case may be. But you can do it in creative ways. I mean, you could have them, whatever the case, you can have holotapes like they have in the game to, I guess, fill in the person watching the TV show too. Maybe you start off every episode with a holotape or something like that, a holotape recording, just kind of explaining what's going on and giving a little bit of backstory about certain factions or certain events or something like that. All that could be possible, I think, and it'd be really nice to kind of have that link between the show and the game. I think they should try to attempt to keep the feeling of exploration as much as possible, because that is probably the best part about Fallout, is just the idea of someone traversing through an unknown place or an unknown territory and what they might come across, these random events or random bad guys that they might encounter. I think they should try to encompass that as much as possible. I don't know the extent of it, but maybe even having a situation where he is in a different part of whatever wasteland they plan on having it in. He's in a different part of it in each episode. So there's traveling in between. You see him traveling at the end, or traveling at the beginning of the episode and at the end of the episode. But then the bulk of the episode is at one central location, or at least in that area. So that could be something that's cool also to kind of, I guess, because I'm assuming they're going to have a lone wanderer type character. I mean, I don't know for sure, but it's been in every game. It's kind of the focal point of the series, so I can imagine them maybe carrying that over into the TV show. I don't know if it's going to take place in one of the places that we've already seen in the games. Like, I don't know if it's going to be in the Capital Wasteland or DC. I don't know if it's going to be in New Vegas. I don't know if it's going to be in Boston or whatever the case may, or in Appalachia, wherever the case may be. Like, I don't know if they're going to take one of those locations and just translate it from the game to the show, or if they're going to show us a completely new place. I'd be down for either one, to be honest with you. I think if they use a place that's actually in the game, how I would tackle that would be something similar to what they did in the very first Resident Evil movie, and that was how the movie is kind of running congruently with the games, but they don't really affect each other. Like, if you know what I'm saying, like they could exist together and they don't really overlap all that much. Like, the Resident Evil movie is essentially a prequel to the first Resident Evil game, if you really want to think about it in that aspect. And I don't think you necessarily need to do that, but you can have moments where the main character in the TV series, whoever that is, comes across people from the game or hears about people from the game, and that'll be a nice little Easter egg for people who play the games and diehards like myself. And it'll also, again, go a long way to building a bigger world. And I think that'd be kind of cool if they do choose to use a location that they've already used in the game. Now, if they use a location that we've never seen before in the games, or something along those lines, then they're pretty much got free reign to do whatever they want at that point. And I think that would be cool too, to just see a new place, and that would increase the feeling of exploration, even in the person viewing the show. Like, we wouldn't know what to expect either. So they could go a couple of different ways with that. The only other thing that I think they definitely need is, I think the opening, this is kind of, I guess, minor, you could say, but the opening song should be I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. To me, that is, by the Ink Spots, that is the Fallout theme song to me, and that should be the theme song of the show. I don't know if they are able to get the rights to that. I'm assuming they would be. It's Amazon. They have the clout to do so. But I think the music in the show is very important, and I think they should take some of the music from the game and translate it to the show, because the music in the game really does add to the atmosphere, and it really does, I guess, increase it changes the way you play the game in a lot of aspects, because sometimes you can be listening to the radio while you're doing stuff, sometimes it's dead silent. But the use of music in this TV series, I think, will actually be pretty important, and something that they should consider if they plan on doing it, because music is, in my opinion, a major part of the games as well. So overall, obviously, I'm very excited about this, the prospect of a Fallout TV series. I think it's great that it's going to be on Amazon Prime. I'm desperately looking forward to it, obviously. I'd be interested to see how they handle it. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. Are you excited about this? Do you agree with them trying to translate Fallout into a TV series? I think it's perfect for a TV series, but let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shit. Peace out. Thanks for watching.